world of sports, eh?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack.
Ahoy!
He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
Wasted world of sports, ahoy! You know, sometimes you just have to throw your hands up and go, I don't know. I don't know. I have had the same setup now for over a year. And for some reason, I go on tonight, nothing has changed, but it looks like I'm broadcasting out of a sewer drain. I apologize for that. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why. I haven't changed the lighting at all for over 12 months. Yeah. But yes, Bomb Shelter says UFC only fans. I don't know what the hell just happened. I tried resetting the webcam, but I've not changed anything. So there you go. The joy of technology is what I put it down to. I've worked with computers for a long time, and sometimes they just do weird bollocks. I mean, look, my multi hasn't even reloaded. God damn it. Not that it's on the screen properly to begin with. Anyway, it was all just a little bit of fun today. Anyways, I was talking to UFC only fans before the stream, and we were discussing the multis. I pretty much said pre-season trial games too hard to predict anyway, so just we have a little bit of fun with it. We go a little bit crazy. And I just threw a random 5-leg multi out there that included all the well, not all the outside backs, I suppose, but it included some of the big name players. And I threw Kickow in there as well. It's a $10 wager, which will pay out about, what did I say, $875 or something like that. $855 off a $10 wager. I'm willing to take that chance on a preseason game. I mean, the chances of winning are slim to none regardless, but yes, it's even harder to predict in preseason, isn't it? So I probably should have, on reflection, I probably should have restarted my whole computer. But not to worry, not to worry. Let's try something out here. Let's try and get some light to proceedings. Vobsy's been scared to place any multis. You haven't placed one since... you've placed one since last season. Oh, that was on the Volk fight. Okay, you know what? I nearly streamed that. We are going to be streaming some UFC this year on the channel. I'm looking... I tried / considered starting a brand new channel. Just an associated channel, still... But brand new, focusing on UFC and WWE, our random streams that we do. But then I thought, honestly, I'm not going to be doing it enough to make it worthwhile. So I went to all that effort of starting the new channel. Sorry, I'm just restarting my webcam again, by the way. Went to all that trouble of starting something new, but I don't think I'm going to carry on with it. All right, let's see. Oh, that's a little bit better. You know what? We're getting there. We're getting closer. Vobsy has never turned his computer off so quick the second he went down. Oh, God. Didn't he get rocked, though? You could see... I remember watching it live and seeing the replay, and I just thought, okay, if I were broadcasting live right now, this is what I would be talking about. The deer in headlights look, because if memory serves me correctly, how it went was he went for a right hand hook, yeah, or a right hand jab. Anyway, he went for a swing and he missed. He kind of didn't really connect at all. He's missed. And as soon as he missed that shot, you saw his eyes bug out. Like, At this moment, he realised just how badly he screwed up, because when he missed that shot, he was wide open, and down he went, dropped him like a sack of potatoes. Game of Mel, ahoy there. Sorry, I was so busy with my technical difficulties here, I didn't see you there. I apologise. Anyway, the Discord should be up and running. For those of you on Discord, it should be up and running. But yes, I'm really confused as to what's happening with the lighting here tonight. I will be yes, I'm not very knowledgeable on UFC. Some people might say I'm not very knowledgeable on rugby either. Both codes. And I'll tell you what else I'm going to do this season, because I'm very, very interested in covering the Super Rugby. If I wasn't so busy with work, I would have been doing the first game of the Super Rugby season, which was on earlier this evening. And what a fantastic game it was. So I'll be doing some of the bigger games of the Super Rugby this season as well. But what I'm considering doing, because I think it could be a little bit of fun, I'll actually cover both games at once. So if we've got a Saturday afternoon or something where there's two big games on, one for the Super Rugby, one for the Rugby League, I'm seriously considering doing both games. Now, that should be very interesting to see how I managed to pull that off. But I'm thinking I should call the streams something like 2 codes, 1 cup. It's a little bit of a dated reference, I know, but some people may still get the connection there. But the only thing I'm thinking about that is that might bring in a really, really disturbing random crowd of people that we don't necessarily wish to associate with. As this game gets underway, I may as well switch the multis off because it's not on the... Well, you can see the names on the screen anyway. Mulatalo's managed to sneak himself into the shot. I love it. But this game is underway. I love that the right above my multis on the commentary screen, the gambling message has found its way in. It snuck its way in to the Wasted Water Sports feed. I love it. As the Sharks have first use of the ball. Now, I was also chatting with UFC a little bit earlier about how the Sharks started this week as very short-priced favourites. But then the Bulldogs just kept stacking players into their team. This is a proper trial. Dead set proper trial. Both teams looking very, very stacked, very, very solid. Nico Hines, probably the most noticeable absence from the Sharks anyway, if not both teams. Although, yeah, Matt Burton. No, Matt Burton's there. Matt Burton's been added to the team. So I would actually say Bulldogs, for mine, are the favourites in this game, but that's only because I have very little faith in my own team. And that is a big charge up over halfway for the Bulldogs. Looking solid on their first set of 6. Burton puts it high. His first high ball of the evening. Pressure at the back. But Sione Katoa takes it, and then he makes the Fox look like a fool. Very, very lazy on defence there, Josh Adokar, which is one big criticism you can level at his game, isn't it? Can be a lazy defender. Josh Adokar. Vopsy says I could always just have a live scoreboard of the other game. Oh, but I can't. Oh, and the first mistake of the game, it's Cam McInnes. Cameron McInnes has lost that ball in contact, and here is an early opportunity presenting itself for the Bulldogs. A massive shot was put on there. I believe that was Max King, forcing the ball free. I kind of want to do the dual commentary, though, Vopsy, just for a laugh. I just want to see how it goes. Who knows, it might become a thing. This man has dared to do 2 games of commentary at once. I mean, obviously, the thing that springs to mind is you would focus on the game where a team's getting closer to scoring as the Bulldogs cough the ball up now. And the Sharks have a chance to counter-attack. Awful lot of rat's tails in this Sharks team. Well, I've seen 2, but that's 2 too many. Too many is what I say. Mr. Peebles, ahoy there. How are you doing, sir? Oh, boy, have we had some technical difficulties to start the proceedings here. Both teams with early mistakes. For the Bulldogs, though, their mistake was way up the other end of the field. So it's not really going to come back to bite them. And now, a mistake from the youngster at the back. Daniel Atkinson it is there, who's in the team for Nico Hines. I'm doing very well, thank you, GameML, apart from the technical difficulty. I don't understand. I really don't. This is what I get so confused with computers and technology. I really do. I've had the exact same setup now for over a year. I haven't touched anything. I haven't pressed any buttons. I haven't altered any settings, sliders, or anything. I've just hit go. And for some reason, for some reason, the camera was so dark, it looked like I was broadcasting. I said a sewer drain I was broadcasting out of. UFC Only Fam says a bomb shelter. As the Bulldogs put a fantastic kick in, it sits up in the end goal, and Sione Kurtoa is caught by the Fox and Company. Has been hunted down. No. I just meant I'm not darker in the camera, just the whole room was darker, is what I meant, Vopsy. The Sharks get the ball from the short dropout, but a push in the back, and it's a penalty. Take the 2! Take the 2. And of course, with all the technical difficulties, I don't know if the button for the store even works. So I can't even promote the Take the 2 shirts. Sharks have challenged this call anyway. I didn't see it. I was too busy chatting to you lot in the chat room. Didn't have my eyes on the game. But the challenge is for a push in the back by Mulatalo, I'm guessing, because he's the only player within cooey of the ball. Oh, that's a harsh call. Now this is surely overturned. This surely must be overturned. To call that a shove in the back. Challenge unsuccessful. That is a very harsh call. GameML, what am I using to watch the game? KO Sports. Wow, that's a rough penalty, that. I completely understand why they challenged that. Harsh call, that one. But anyways, it's the Bulldogs who get the favour of that call, and now they've got great shape out to the right. But holy hell, that's a shocking pass. And over the sideline it goes. And the Sharks survive, and that's probably justice. That is the rugby league gods there saying, excuse me, we need to make this right. Blake Lyons, ahoy, mate. KO probably did go up in price. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I noticed. Because I'm rather terrible at keeping an eye on such things. But it wouldn't surprise me. The Sharks survive that early scare. The Bulldogs are looking slick, though. Remember how I said in the top 8, well, the whole ladder prediction, but primarily the top 8 prediction stream, I said we are going to have to revisit this after the trial games. And whilst you can't read too much into preseason form, I'm actually liking the look of the Bulldogs. I didn't have them in the top 8, but they could very well be fighting for it, as everybody stands back and watches this one, and the Bulldogs come away with it. And that's another loose pass. Scrappy as all hell here from the Bulldogs, and they lose yardage, but they still have the ball, most importantly. Blake Wilson it is, doing the hard yards, like every good winger should, contributing to the hit-outs from their own end. My whole thing at the time, Vopsy, was I just don't have the faith. Because the Bulldogs have had a solid roster now for a couple of seasons. And they've had a lot of injuries, but they haven't really delivered. So that's the only reason I said I've lost faith in them, as Burton puts the ball high. Kennedy spills it, recovers it. Oh, he juggled it. He double juggled it. But he reels it back in. But UFC, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, mate, is for a winger to get involved in running the ball back after a kick, especially from their own end, it preserves the energy of the forwards. The forwards don't have to put in such hard yakka to get back, turn around and get back. That's a tactic. A tactic that you use against a big forward pack is just keep kicking the ball back in over the line, make them turn around. But if you've got two solid wingers who can get involved and do the hard yards coming out of territory, it takes that pressure off your forwards to have to give so much in getting back behind the attacking line. I think I said what I was trying to say. I think. And up over halfway go the Bulldogs again, and they make a mistake at the play the ball. Blake Wilson was trying to put on an act there to milk a penalty. The referee is not falling for it, though. He says, nope. No Oscar for you, sir. And the mistake from the Bulldogs, and this is very relieving. Oh, the kebab was fantastic. It really was. Yeah. I mean, it might not have been the greatest kebab that I've ever had in the history of my life, but at the time, it just, yeah, I really felt like one after I saw that in the chat. And for the moment, it did everything it was supposed to do. Sione Katoa in a little bit of trouble. He can't put weight on that leg, and this would be a big, big injury for the Sharks. I don't think it's anything too serious, though. He's still up. He's just struggling to put weight on that leg. As Trindle now arranges the troops. Out the back to Atkinson and gets all tangled up here. But the Bulldogs, a tackle without the ball. Take the 2. Scoreboard pressure. Put yourself in the front. Even if it is only by 2 points. And the penalty against the Bulldogs, taking Braden Trindle out after the pass in the back. You can't do that. They're very, very strict on that sort of action these days. And the Sharks have their first real attacking chance. They've weathered the storm defensively. And now they have a chance to attack 20 metres out in midfield. Royce Hunt takes them to within 10. McInnes feeds it on. Kaufusi with the offload. Back to Royce Hunt for his second touch in this set. They're 2 metres out here, the Sharks. Just like that. Kaufusi on the decoy. They go out the back. Kennedy's in the line, and Kennedy is crunched. Well read there by Stephen Crichton. And a penalty, and Stephen Crichton's in trouble here. A leg pull. Okay. The way the referee was marching over to Crichton there, I thought he might have been getting 10 in the bin for multiple penalties in a row now in their own half, the Bulldogs. But the Sharks, that's their go-to play. Kennedy sweeping around the back. And Stephen Crichton was all over it. So Stephen Crichton's getting the captaincy for the Bulldogs this year, I've heard. What do we think of that as a call? I think it makes sense. It's a decision for the future. Stephen Crichton may be the long-term captain as the Sharks put a flat pass, completely deceiving the defensive line. And it's Teague Wilton, of all bloody people, who's gone over to score. And the Sharks strike first. They have raced up way too quickly there on the right-hand side, the Bulldogs. There was 3 defenders all numbered up, and they've just gone up way too fast, and that has exposed the inside line. And Teague Wilton has read it perfectly. And that is a fabulous try from the Sharkies first up. Their first real venture down into Bulldogs attacking territory. And they've come away with points. Good signs. Sharks lead 4-0, kick to come. I hadn't even thought of putting Teague Wilton anywhere near my same game multi. Don't forget, Wasted World of Sports tipping comp is back again for another season. We had it was absolutely stacked to the gills last year, but it's a little bit slower filling up this season. Trindle from just to the left of the post converts, and the Sharks lead 6 points to 0. Samuel Matthew. Which channel? Oh, on Discord. On Discord, you go to the Watch Games Live. You click on Watch Games Live. Oh, Sione Katoa is hobbling. Is he going off? No, he's not. He's just walking back to position. Not that it matters to me because he's not in my multi. I've got Adokar, Crichton, Kikau, Kennedy, and Mulatalo. And the first try is from a forward. You kind of have to enter, though, UFC, because as Brayley goes from dummy half, chews up some meters, catching some lazy defenders from the Bulldogs. One criticism I can level at the Bulldogs so far today is some lazy defense. Yes, exactly, UFC. You need to enter because we are at such odds with the Raiders season. And that is a great set from the Sharks. 64 meters gained off that. Trindle on the short side puts the kick up. There's pressure on the kick chase, but it's well taken at the back by Blake Taff. The Sharks are rolling on here. The ball is stripped out there from the sofa. It should be 6 again. But it's not. Okay. I feel like there was a clear raking motion there from Big Sofa Talakai, who's getting very heavily involved defensively. And the Bulldogs are pinned down here, 5th and last. They've only just got outside the 20 now. Scrappy play the ball. Burton's going to have to pull off a humongous kick. And by God, he does it. Kennedy takes it on his own 10-meter line. A big kick was needed. A big kick is what resulted. And considering they were 5th and last on their own 20, the fact that the Sharks are starting their set now 30 meters out from their own line down the other end of the field. What a kick from Matt Burton. But that should come as no surprise anymore, really. Matt Burton, if Matt Burton was going over to Las Vegas, there would be eyes on him from the NFL, I'm sure. McInnes now charges forward. I thought he'd lost the ball, but it was just Reed Marnie's headgear in the process of that tackle. 5th and last, Trindle with the high ball. Down this near side. No contest from the Bulldogs. The Sharks make a meal out of it. And a very simple handover. And now another loose pass from dummy half. Oh, the Bulldogs are just... Oh, they're devising their own demise at the moment, the Dogs. Loose passes. You just can't do that. You put your own attacking line under pressure. That would have to be a little bit alarming for Bulldog supporters. 6 again. And now a full penalty because it was still inside the 40. And on tackle 4, that is a coach killer. I would dare say, Vobsy, that Michelle will be back for Vegas round 1, the Broncos game. I can't imagine that she's going to miss that one. And speaking of returns, the almighty return of the old Panther as the Generations podcast, or Generations vodcast, I suppose it is really, video podcast. Generations and the old Panther return Sunday afternoon, 1:30 p.m. Queensland time, as the Bulldogs, with a simple wraparound play, go straight through, needed support. They just didn't have it. The Hutchinson forces the pass and it goes to ground, and the Sharks dive on the loose ball and survive. Concerning there for the Sharks defensive line and how easy that was. And if this guy turns around and I can see his number, it was the youngster in for Nico Hines. Daniel Atkinson just caught rushing up too quickly there. Breaking the defensive line. Rez Zenful for life. Ahoy there. Who you got winning for Vegas? I am leaning towards... I actually think we're going to get 2 upsets. Or, you know, upsets. I'm going to use air quotes here. Upsets. I think Manly are going to surprise the Rabbitohs. And a game that I don't consider an upset, but the bookmakers apparently do. I've got the Roosters beating the Broncos quite comfortably. So I'm actually going against the grain for both games there. Bulldogs have the ball back. Another attacking rain. Bobsy says if Latrell plays fullback, Manly win. Well, that will be interesting to see. Obviously, Latrell wants to play fullback as another loose pass from dummy half. The Bulldogs, they just can't get any momentum here because the passing is not on song. They still have the ball, though. We'll come back to that Vegas conversation. 5 out from the line here. Bulldogs go right. Short pass. They're nearly over the line. Tackle 3. Marnie holds up the ball. They go left. Burton to Crichton. Crichton gets on the outside. Flick pass to the Fox. Adokar puts the grubber kick in, and it's over the dead ball line. Pats on backs all around from the Sharks. The defense holds firm. Shuts down the threat of Stephen Crichton. It's great to see that Burton-Crichton combination back, though, we've got to say. Even if it's not for the Panthers. Just to see that combo back in action. Very nice. Okay, so Vopsy has said if Latrell plays fullback, Manly win. Latrell obviously wants to play fullback, but I think the Rabbitohs have been presented a great opportunity here. The injury to Campbell Graham is huge, and that's why I'm leaning towards Manly. Campbell Graham is a massive, massive out for the Rabbitohs. Just a huge, huge loss. I think if they shift Latrell back to the centres and have an actual fullback play fullback, Because Latrell, I'm sorry, I realise that it's considered bad to say anything negative about him, but the guy, let's be realistic, the guy's not a fullback. He's a centre. So if they bring him back into the centres to replace the injured Campbell Graham, I might have to change my mind. I think though, Latrell gets to do what Latrell says he's going to do, and I dare say that he'll be at fullback. And this Manly team, they've got some points in them. If they can stay fit and keep their number one team on the field, they're going to pull off quite a few surprises this season. And between Brooks and Cherry Evans, Brooks, an extremely underrated player. He's just been playing in a crap team for all these years. But alongside Cherry Evans, I think they could expose Mitchell all night long because he very often gets caught out of position. But that's just my 2 cents anyway. As Burton puts this ball so high, it's gone off camera. And Katoa's done extremely well to take that. And Latrell does whatever he wants. And that's legit the reason Sam Burgess went to England. Oh, Stephen Crichton's coming off for a rest. Well, that's no good for my multi. I've given up on the multi anyway, to be honest. It was all just a laugh. It was all just a bit of fun. Resentful for life. Did you watch the Maori versus Indigenous All-Stars? I did. Braden Trindle. I wouldn't have said... I thought Braden Trindle and Nico Hines did very, very well in combination with each other. Don't know that I would have given Braden Trindle the man of the match overall, though. The Preston Campbell medal. I don't know if I would have gone that far, but he certainly had a good game, which is great. Great news for the Sharks. To see the Hines-Trindle combination paying dividends. Unfortunately, it was not in a Sharks jersey that it was paying dividends for. As the Bulldogs now keep the ball alive, Hutchinson with the hospital pass. Oh, and his teammates never going to forgive him for that unless he buys him 6 beers after the game at least. A hospital pass. He is absolutely crunched. Let's try and get a number. Who is that? Who is absolutely smashed? Number 12 there for the Bulldogs. Jacob Preston. Folded by Sofa. Absolutely folded by the Sofa. And now a penalty to boot. And the Sharks are going to be all the way up the other end of the field once more. Stephen Crichton's come off the field. That's something to keep an eye on. I would guess Crichton's first game back for the year, that's just a pre-planned thing. He was probably only going to play the first, 20 minutes or whatever. And now the Bulldogs put a big shot on. That was Kickow on Toby Rudolph. Big hits coming in now. This is a proper trial game, this one. Both teams stacked with NRL All-Stars as Hazelton on tackle 4 goes within 10 in front of the post. The Sharks, can they strike again? Trindle puts the grubber kick in behind the line. Talakai leading the chase, but the Bulldogs just get across and knock it dead. It'll be a line dropout, a result for the Sharks. Great vision there from Trindle. He's got the ball on a string again tonight. There is a scenario where a big centre like Sofa Talakai is really detrimental because you need somebody with pace. Somebody with pace running onto that ball. If you put in a grubber kick through in behind the line, you need speed chasing it. As the Bulldogs go short, the Sharks tap it back. Kennedy is wrapped up. And the Sharks have the ball back. It seems like it's going to be another season of short goal line dropouts. McInnes goes from dummy half. He goes to 2 meters short. Rudolph juggles it, goes on his own. They're a metre short now. The Sharks on tackle 4. They come to their short side. Trindle with the Harbour Bridge pass out to Katoa. Katoa stands up the Fox again. Sione Katoa is making Josh Adokar look foolish defensively tonight. Trindle puts the kick up. He was looking for the post there, Trindle, because it was way too heavy. I think that was a clear attempt to hit the upright. And it was a nothing kick. And the Bulldogs now have a 7-tackle set. Looking to get themselves out of their own end of the field where they've been camped for quite some time now. So if we have a look at some statistics as the Bulldogs bring it out of their own territory, I can tell you, as the Bulldogs now make a mistake, Blake Wilson again, thinking about challenging. He's convinced his captain to have a challenge here. Surely not again. Blake Wilson in the play the ball. Let's have a look. He was guilty of this earlier. Geez, Teague Wilton is kind of all over him in the play the ball. Is there a sneaky little hand in there? He has no intention of stripping. He's just trying to get his hands out of there and stand up. Challenge unsuccessful, and that's a big mistake. So I can tell you in the first half so far, 61% possession to 39 in favour of the Sharks. And here is where it's really coming undone for the Bulldogs. 85% completion rate for the Sharks. 12 out of 14 they've completed. The Bulldogs, 6 out of 11 for 54%. And that's where they're really coming undone in this game, the Bulldogs. You're not going to get... the fact that they're only behind by 6 points... It's only a trial game, yes, but the fact they're only behind by 6 with those sorts of stats is unreal. Vobsy asks, who's the halves combination for the Dogs? It is Matt Burton and Drew Hutchinson. Trindle cuts Hazelton back on the inside towards the posts. 22 out, or 20 out, wrong code. Rudolph to Atkinson. Atkinson floats the pass over to nobody, and it pops up for Blake Wilson and the Bulldogs. And that's where the Sharks are missing Nico Hines tonight. Daniel Atkinson, the youngster, he's been given a go, but he's just made complete mincemeat out of this entire first half so far. Burton now puts the kick in, looking for the Fox. It pops up for him, and Adokar's got support inside. Bronson Sherry dragged down from behind in a try-saving tackle from Nikora, and now Nikora's gone for 10. A professional foul. He just lays all over the play the ball area. He saved a try, but he is going to have to go for 10. He is going to have a sit down for the rest of the half. Matt Burton puts the kick in. Bronson Sherry and Josh Adokar, 2 of the fastest players in the NRL. Nikora somehow wrangles him down and then just lays all over the ruck, makes a nuisance of himself, and the referee with no choice. He had to go. He absolutely had to go there, Nikora. Burton is the 6, yes. Bobsy. Marnie, with his traditional, takes 30 steps before he passes the ball. And again, 30 steps out to the right. Blake Taff cuts back in field. Dodging, ducking, weaving. Top try scorer for the season. I'm going to say... Well, actually, no, he got himself injured, didn't he? Never mind. Oh, there was an overlap here for the Bulldogs, but Taff drops the ball. The defense races up and shuts it down. And the Sharks survive again. I was actually going to say, I I'm thinking we might get a surprise Dominic Young on the end of that Roosters backline. But now Dom Young's gone and got himself hurt, so I don't even know when he's going to be back. But I would have loved the sight of Dom Young on the end of that Roosters backline. Oh, he's fine? Is he really? Oh, that's excellent news. Okay, Dominic Young. The Sharks win the scrum. And Katoa with the first hit up. 9 minutes to go in this half. Fabulous news for the Roosters. Dom Young cleared. Oh, a juggle from Talakai. And now the big lug loses the ball. Oh, he's big, but by God, he's useless. And Talakai gives the ball back to the Bulldogs. And this 12-man defensive line of the Sharks must hold on for 6 tackles. Kikau backs into the defense. A metre short. Another shocking pass from Reed Marnie from dummy half. Reed Marnie, what has he been doing in the off-season? Certainly hasn't been practicing his passing. Two metres short now, the Bulldogs on tackle 3. Marnie, again, oh, that's a... It wasn't as bad a pass, but it wasn't great either, that one. And Kurt Mann it is. Kurt Mann for playing for the Bulldogs. What a pickup. Now, a flat inside pass to Jacob Preston, who changes direction and scores the try. And this is unreal. Both number 12s, both second rowers have scored tries for the opposing teams. Teague Wilton, the number 12 for the Sharks, scored early in the half, and now the number 12 for the Bulldogs, Jacob Preston, goes over, and this should level the scores. I can only imagine what that would have been paying as a try-scoring double, the two number 12s. 6 points to 4, kick to come. That try is all down to Sofa Talakai. I don't understand why he continues to retain his spot in the team when there are so much better players available. A simple bobble of the ball coming out of territory when you've just given away a man in the sin bin. Unforgivable. It's only pre-season, I know, but you've got to keep an eye on these sorts of things. These are the sorts of things that could potentially be season killers once the proper games begin. Inside the last 7 minutes of this first half. And Matt Burton with an opportunity from right beside the post here to level the scores. And he does. He puts it over. Drew Peebles asks if I'm excited for Elimination Chamber. Excitement's probably not the right word, but I'm interested. I'm interested to see what happens. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm excited for it. Resentful for life had Reed Marnie to score in this game. Well, maybe he will, because I'm strongly advising him to not pass the ball anymore. Maybe he should just keep running. And who knows, he might come away with a try on the back of that. 6 points all it is as the Sharks get us back underway. They just have to now try and get to half-time. Well, I mean, it's only a trial game, so it doesn't matter, as we keep saying. So they don't necessarily have to shut up shop in a trial game and try and run down the clock. Oh, there's a one-on-one strip there. Fantastic work from Toby Rudolph. He's lost his pants in the process. He stripped the ball and he got stripped himself. Trindle to get a field goal, eh? Expecting a close game, I'm gathering. Well, that's probably a pretty good call. Both very solid teams. 5.5 minutes to go. The Sharks, after that strip from Rudolph, have the ball in attacking range. They are, of course, 12 against 13 at the moment. But tackle 2, 5 out from the line. Trindle sends it on to Hazelton in midfield. Hazelton just Takes it to ground very, very lackadaisically. They continue down this near side, but Ramian change of direction. Just another settler in front of the post on tackle 4. Trindle, the little goose step, cut out pass to Talakai. Wrap around with Trindle, then throws it to the touch judge, and the Bulldogs will have the ball back, calling for a touch on it. The Sharks, they have no challenges remaining. Well, neither team has any challenge remaining. Hazelton sounds like a town they grow hazelnuts in. Fair enough. 4.5 minutes to go until the halftime break. That completion rate from the Bulldogs is not improving, 53%. But somehow they find themselves even on the scoreboard. Big weekend of Wasted Water Sports action coming up. Some huge, huge streams. The Six Nations is back. A couple of great games there in the Six Nations. Hopefully I've got my webcam all sorted out for those. Back to Burton, inside the 40. He puts it high. It's wobbly. The Sharks stand back and watch it. Dangerous. Katoa throws the worst dummy pass you'll ever hope to see in your life. Nobody fell for it. Sione Katoa is standing on this near touchline when he took that ball, and he dummied to his fullback who was standing under the goalposts. Nobody was falling for that one, mate. As the Sharks through Wilton now, outside their own 40 on tackle 4. Nikoro with 2 minutes left in the sin bin. Hazelton runs straight over the top of Reed Marnie. And Reed Marnie might think twice about trying to get involved defensively now. Trindle puts the kick away on the 5th and last. No pressure at the back there on Blake Taff. Beats the first tackle and is taken down. 6 points all. 2.5 minutes to go until the halftime break. Now, this has been a proper trial game. I obviously stacked the multi. Stacked it with try scorers. Because I thought it's a trial. The floodgates will open. But this has been a proper tight contest. This might be the best preseason game I've seen so far in 2024. Bulldogs go to the left through the back line. Burton, another challenging high ball. Kennedy is back there, lets it bounce. He's going to watch it go over the dead ball line. And a 7 tackle set here for the Sharks. But that is dangerous. A dangerous play to let those high balls bounce. They could go absolutely anywhere. I should do... Mr. Peebles, I should do the mirror bets. I should do the George Costanza. George Costanza, if there's any Seinfeld fans in the chat room, when George Costanza went through that little period, or that little period being that one episode, that episode where George decided he's just going to do the complete opposite of his natural instinct, and then life started working out for him in that one episode. I'll do the George Costanza method of betting. I'll pick my same game multi, but I'll actually put the bet on the complete opposite and see how it goes. Short pass there to Teague Wilton, looking for a very unlikely double. And the Sharks are caught, and that will be a handover. 5 out from the line. Inside the last 30 seconds of this first half. And it's looking like this is where it's going to end. 6 points all. This game running about as close as we anticipated. But I've got to say, when I thought it was going to be close, I thought it might have been close and higher scoring. Resentful for Life says, I think Crichton is running for being the buy of the year. Absolutely he is. He's a great pickup for any club, but especially over at the Bulldogs. I think the Bulldogs are still where they might come undone. They might just come undone because they still don't have a 7. All these players that they've bought are fantastic, but time and time again, it's been proven a team without a quality halfback don't win the comp, do they? Whoops, I've just turned the game off. Oh, well, it's half time anyway, so not a big deal. But yeah, it's interesting. You need a good halfback to win the comp. So they've picked up some quality players indeed. But they're still just missing a good halfback, aren't they? All right, Waste of Water Sports, halftime here. Halftime. No legs of the multi ticked off. We may as well forget the multi. It was all just for a laugh anyway. Tropical Whopper. That looks like a nice burger, that. Waste of Water Sports, halftime here. 6 points all. Sharks and the Bulldogs in the preseason. Yes, a close game as we anticipated, but I was probably thinking something a little more high scoring than what we've got. I'm going to have a quick break and we'll be right back after this. I'm going to throw some ads in here just for James. All right, and we're back. Hey, look, James, every little bit helps. It all helps. I do this just for fun, of course, but the more I can monetize things, the more I can realistically do it. Because I was in a very, very horrible position today. I knew for a fact that Chiefs Crusaders game in the Super Rugby was going to be fabulous. It was going to be absolutely fantastic. But it was during work hours. If only I could not work and do this. It would have been brilliant. But anyways, not to worry. So, we've got half-time here to kill. Not a whole lot to talk about in that game. Both defenses were fantastic. Defensively, both teams well on song. That's all right. It doesn't play for everyone every single time. I just hit the button and it inserts it. Sometimes it doesn't insert it until the replay. It's very, very random, YouTube. Somebody would have got ads. It's not going to be you every single time. I don't pretend to understand how it works. And if you've got YouTube Premium, they never play. Half time here, though. No, it's for the NRL footy tipping. The Wasted World of Sports footy tipping back again for another season. Let's see if it stays in the Wasted World of Sports family. Let's see, has anyone new joined? It's going very slow this season. Oh, God, I'm not signed in. Haven't done the fantasy team yet. I'm still up in the air about that. Fantasy, to play the fantasy properly, it's such a commitment, isn't it? I mean, a big, big commitment if you want to do it properly. And I'm just not sure if I'm ready for that. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that level of... There's Fitzy talking to the boys in the shed. Ah, you've changed your team at least 50 times. Okay, so you're all in on the fantasy, eh? Well, I'm certainly considering it. Let me put it that way. I'm definitely considering it. I think it'd be a little bit of fun. A little bit more involved than just the tipping contest. But yeah, I haven't quite decided yet. I wonder if who would I pick if I were to pick Hometown Music. Ahoy there, mate. But anyway, halftime here, 6 points all. Both teams looking very solid on defense. I think Bulldogs, though, would be the happier of the two teams going into halftime. I mean, once again, we have to put a little asterisk next to everything that we say when judging pre-season form, don't we? Because who knows? Who knows what they're trying to get out of it? Maybe for the Sharks, things are going exactly as they're supposed to. Who knows? Drew Peebles says you would have to have at least 8 Panthers and 5 Sharkies, surely. Well, I wouldn't have that many Sharks in there because we know I'm not expecting them to do that well this year. I would have no Raiders in the team. 0 of Ricky's Green Goblins. I wouldn't even have any Broncos in the team, to be perfectly honest. Kurt Capewell I might have considered, but he's a Warrior now. Oh, Ezra Mam. I suppose I would consider Ezra Mam at 6. But I still haven't forgiven him for that multi the other season. I don't think it was even was it last season? Reece Walsh, you've honestly picked the player with the biggest error rate in the competition last season. Because don't errors have negative effect on the score? I don't think I'd be putting the most errors and the most negative plays. He was top of the whole competition in the stats for. Two of the worst. Two of the worst stats to be the leader of. And he was the leader of them. I don't think I'd be having him in my fantasy squad. Tony Staggs, yeah, he's all right when he's going well. So I can understand that one. Oh, dear God, that was strong. Did I even mix that one? I have no idea. I might not have even mixed that one. If he does me wrong, he's gone. But you know what would happen? This is what I'm afraid of in the fantasy league is I'll pick a team and somebody will be garbage, so I'll kick them out, and then they'll have an absolute blinder the following week just to prove me wrong. I can see them doing that. Whoever it is, I can see them doing that. Cheeky buggers. Used to happen to me all the time. Five-game lease. What does that mean? Is that an actual thing, or is that just you personally are giving him 5 games to prove his worth? Just you. Okay, there you go. 5 games. 5 games is probably fair. Yeah, I would have to seriously consider somebody like that in my squad. I realize that he's extremely well liked. But I don't think I could have someone in my squad with that intense an error rate. Just personally. But I guess you're banking on him having a breakout year, aren't you? And I mean a proper breakout year. That's always the risk. I would definitely have Api Coruscant. I would be finding room in the budget for sure for Api Coruscant. Especially because, and this is the sort of thing that I would be thinking about putting a fantasy team together. Api Coruscant is looking likely to have the goal-kicking duties. If not from the start of the year, at least at some point in the year. So first of all, you've got Coruscant, who's going to be great for line breaks, great for try assists, doing the goal-kicking as well. That's somebody I want in my number 9 jersey. I kind of try and stay clear of, because I used to do this in the rugby as well, in the rugby union. Richie McCaw was somebody who I would actually stay away from. In real life, if I were picking a real life team, absolutely, Richie McCaw is one of the first names on the team sheet every single time. But in fantasy sports, he gets pinged for a few too many penalties. Drew Peebles has got... What the hell's happened here? You've got Wade Egan. Wade Egan is another good pick, that one. Yeah, here's another good pick, and I reckon he's a value pickup as well, because he's probably cheaper than Coruscant, yes? Okay, I think I probably should do a stream about this. I think we need to do a, bye in the first round, of course. Yes, that is something else to consider, isn't it? Oh, there's so much to think about. But this little conversation, this little 5-minute conversation while we've been waiting at halftime has been enough to convince me I probably should do a whole stream devoted to it. Geez, I probably should think about doing it quickly. DJ Shaq, ahoy there! As the Sharks get us back underway in the second half. Wasted World of Sport's big weekend of action coming up. By the way, Six Nations back again. The World Club Challenge is on this Sunday. And of course, Sunday afternoon, the Old Panther returns for a new time slot and a new season of the Generations Vodcast. Big defense here from the Sharks. Early on in the second half, now Nikoro was sent for 10 minutes. He made a try-saving tackle on Bronson Sherry, but then realizing the try was still on, proceeded to lay all over the ruck and give away the professional foul. Oh, DJ Shaq, how bloody good was that Crusaders Chiefs game? I was on the edge of my seat. I really wish I had been able to cover it. That would have been a fantastic stream. I will be doing a lot more Super Rugby this season than last year. Resentful for Life says, do you think the Warriors, because I still this season refuse to call them the Wars, can keep their momentum up? Look, I think the Warriors will finish in the top 8. I don't think they'll finish in the top 4. Yeah, I don't think they'll be top 4 again. But I would say they're certainties for the 8. And the Sharks put the ball up high. Taff. Blake Taff, I think it is there. Yes, it is. Blake Taff runs in. Makes a complete mess of it. Raises his hand in apology to his teammates. Yep, that was my bad, fellas. Yeah, you've got to have goal kickers in the team. True, Peebles. I always used to go goal kickers. I would go through the squads, and if anybody outside of a halfback was a goal kicker, I would include them in the team. So somebody like a Ruben Garrick, for example. A Ruben Garrick, an Api Coruscant, as Trindall. Flat pass there to Talakai. Talakai draws in 2 defenders. Slow play the ball here, but the Sharks are inside the 10. Jack Williams is on. Oh, Jermaine Asako for certain. Yes, Asako would be in my team. Try scoring ability and goal kicking as the Sharks keep it alive. The Bulldogs defense swarms. Is Asako going to be playing fullback or wing? That'd be another thing to consider. Trindall goes out the back to Atkinson. Change of direction here for the Sharks. Ramian is caught. Oh, he's on the wing. Okay, yeah, he's definitely in my team then. Atkinson with the crossfield kick. It's well placed, but up there, Gazali. Blake Wilson comes down with the ball, and the Bulldogs have it a metre out from their own line. Oh, it doesn't matter because you don't pick fullback, wing. You pick just outside backs, don't you? And that could be any. You could have fullback, like your Brad Fittler for the New South Wales Blues. Jack, ahoy there. Welcome along, mate, to the Wasted World of Sports. Yeah, I think I remember how it works now. The Bulldogs, 5th and last. They only get as far as their 30, but Matt Burton, that's another solid kick. Kennedy under pressure, manages to take it on the full this time. Looks up, tries to take the Bulldogs on the outside. Nothing doing there for the Sharks, though, and another good kick from Matt Burton To have a boot like that, it just gets the team out of pressure. Twice now, the Bulldogs have been under the pump inside their own half after 5 tackles, well inside their own half, and Burton has kicked them clear. And now the Sharks are struggling for territory. They're up over halfway here, but it's tackle 4. They started this set on their own 40-metre line. The fact that it's now 5th and last and they've only made it to the Bulldogs 40, a great defensive set there. Oh, and it's spilled to the back by Taff again, and it's forward. Blake Taff has got the wobblies. All off kicks. Taff, there was no pressure on him at all there. Down it goes. Now, it's gone backwards and bounced forward, in my opinion, but those get called these days, don't they? Blake Wilson is playing. Resentful for life. He is indeed out there. Yes, I do. I agree. I think a fantasy stream needs to happen. I don't know when, but it needs to happen. Probably needs to be tonight. I have no other time this weekend. It's a bit late to announce it, though. Hang on, when's round 1? Do I still have time next weekend? I've probably still got time next week. Oh, no. I don't. This is it. This is the last opportunity. This weekend is the last chance to sneak unless I do it on like a Thursday night or something. And the Sharks make a complete mess out of it. Spill the ball. And it'll be Bulldogs scrum. Sharks back to a full complement, though, of course. Nikora back from his little spell in the sin bin. And the Bulldogs win the scrum. Resentful for life says for Vegas, I got Latrell and Johnston to score first half. Not a bad bet. I'm not sold on the Rabbitohs this year, though. Brumbies 25, Rebels 3 over in the Union. That's good because I've got a same, not a same game multi, but I've got a multi on the Rugby Union at the moment, the Super Rugby. I have got a multi Brumbies to win, Hurricanes to win, Blues to win, Highlanders to win, and the Reds to win. When's the Reds Waratahs game? That might be tomorrow. I might have to stream that one. A little bit of a grudge match. It's all right, Resentful for life. We had a really good same game multi-season in 2022. Last year was atrocious. Braden Trindle from inside the 40. It lands in the field of play. Braden Trindle with a 40-20 for the Sharks. And Braden Trindle is proving what I've been saying for the last 3 seasons. Why in the hell did we persist with Matt Moylan for so bloody long when we've had this guy here? A pinpoint accurate kick from Braden Trindle, and the Sharks will have the ball back. How long did the Sharks persist with Matt Useless Moylan? And they've had this guy there. Short side they go. Wilton looking for a double. A really unexpected double it would be. It was an unexpected one, let alone if he managed to get another one. 6 again for a ruck infringement. Trindle to Atkins. Atkinson now gets caught high, and this will be a penalty to the Sharks. Copped one on the snoz there. He slipped into it from Burton. Just a penalty. He has slipped, very, very noticeably slipped. And Burton's forearm cops him around the nose. Nothing in it. Penalty. Let's move on. Oh, no, that looks like a broken nose. Oh, Matt Burton's been put on report for that. Are you kidding me? Matt Burton on report for that. Yes, it was high contact, but that was because Atkinson slipped. Very, very clearly slipped. He is sent for a HIA, and that's good news for the Sharks because he's been shocking, to be honest. I understand he's a rookie. He's just a youngster, but by God, he's been awful. Play back on momentarily. Sharks have the ball 12 metres out. On the back of this penalty. They tap and they go. Royce Hunt takes it to the defensive line. 10 metres out here, the Sharks. In front of the posts. They go to the far side. Trindle change of direction with Nikora. Nikora is taken in the exact same spot the ball was taken on tackle 1. Hunt with his second run. Beats the first tackle this time. Stays upright. Finishes a metre short of the line. Out to the right they go. Trindle. Who's that on? I don't even know who that is. It's great defence from the Bulldogs, though, on their own try line. Number 24 for the Sharks there. Puru. Trindle. Another grubber kick in. Behind the line, this one is picked up by Hutchinson. He bobbles it. He regathers it. And now Blake Wilson beats the first 2 tackles. Great meters made there. Mr. Peebles with his multi. Penrith. Brumbies. Oh, Brumbies with minus 19 as the Sharks give away a penalty. Brumbies minus 19, eh? Hurricanes. Or is it Brumbies and minus 19 Hurricanes? Because minus 19 Hurricanes probably makes more sense. Island 13 plus. $50 on it for 650 return. No, Brumbies minus 19. Probably still a good bet. Who are the Brumbies playing? The Rebels. Yeah, they should win that by a fair margin. They should get that by a fair whack. As the Bulldogs off the back of the penalty now. Tackle 3, up over halfway. 6-all. It is indeed very close as the Bulldogs now shifted out the back line. Dummying and going on his own there into contact. Blake Taff. On tackle 4 now. Hutchinson moves it along to Marnie. Marnie in the playmaker role. And here's Kurt Mann. I didn't realise that the Bulldogs picked up Kurt Mann. That's a pretty solid buy. Burton puts it high into the air. Not a lot of distance on it, but the Bulldogs tap it back. It is still 5th and last. Marnie gets the second kick away. Confusion at the back there from the Sharks, and Kennedy falls on it. A good result in the end there for the Bulldogs. And now the ball spills loose from Mulatalo, and the Bulldogs are tackled over the sideline. We will come back. No advantage. Scrum down Bulldogs. It is a big, big net result for the Doggies. Mulatalo it is with the loose carry. The ball spills out. The Sharks, how can they continue to hold on here? I don't know that you would worry about a field goal in trial games, but we'll see. We shall see if it comes down to that. Still 26 minutes to go. Bulldogs with the ball. I'm cheering for the Sharks because, I don't know, Sharks is a cool name. It is a pretty cool team name, isn't it? The Sharkies. Marnie goes from dummy half. He can't get away from the defense. Wrapped up by Colehorn. A waste of a tackle there. Reid Marnie's had a bit of a shocker, really, hasn't he? He just hasn't been the same since he left the Eels. Reid Marnie was pretty solid at the Eels. He's been quite crap since he's come to the Bulldogs. Now they've got shape and numbers out to the left. Oh, but Josh Adokar falls on his butt. And that's the end of that play. Fifth and last here. Bulldogs. Back to Burton. Burton puts it high cross field. That is a great kick. Taff jumps early. And it falls down for the Sharks. And they're away. Straight up the middle of the field. Puru gets away up to the halfway line. That's a great kick return. The Sharks trying to earn a 6 again. I don't know why. Just get on with it. Catch you later. Resentful for life. Quite a few streams all queued up on the channel page. Coming up over the course of this weekend if you'd like to check those out. Puru feeds it on now as the Sharks are in attacking range. Rudolph goes to ground on tackle 4. They're 20 out. Puru juggles, goes to ground on his own, 5th and last. Trindle, little goose step, dummies, goes on his own, Trindle. Stays alive. Now he goes to ground, a metre short. He's lost the ball. He's blowed up about it, but there's no challenges remaining for either team. And the Bulldogs will have the ball off the handover. Evan Jardine, ahoy there, mate. Evan says, go Bulldogs. 23 and a half minutes to go. Anybody's game, this one. Stephen Crichton's coming back on for another spell. I had 5 try scorers in my multi. I don't know that we're even going to see 5 tries scored in this game. No, Nico Hines is out as a precaution. Mr. Peebles. Oh, catch you later, Gamer Mel. Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, Nico Hines has a little bit of a niggle, so he has just been rested as a precaution. He will be available for round 1. They've just used common sense and sat him out of this one. Precautionary. So in his place has been Daniel Atkinson, who's had an absolute dead set shocker. But in fairness, he is a complete rookie who wouldn't have even been expecting to play tonight, in all honesty. Clearly wasn't named in the squad to begin with because he's wearing the number 22. He's off for a HIA at the moment. Trindle keeps this low and flat, looking for another 40-20. It holds up, though, and Taff brings it away. And the Bulldogs have the ball back. 6-all. Such a low-scoring game I was not expecting. I really wasn't. As Reid Marnie comes off the field. He's had a shocker with the passing tonight, Reid Marnie. Obviously hasn't been working on that in the off-season. Close games are indeed better. Hawk on crack, 49. Close games are always fabulous as Burton dummies. Burton goes straight through a gap. It shuts down. 5th and last. Inside the 30 now. The Bulldogs back to Hutchinson. Puts it high. It's a little too deep. They can't get pressure on this chase. And they tap it back. Over the sideline it goes, and the Sharks will have the ball. Mr. Peebles says so many people would have had money on the Sharks just because Nico was playing. Well, I was discussing this with UFC, as I said before the stream. The Sharks were the early favourites when the teams first dropped. The Sharks were the short-priced favourites with the bookmakers. But then the Sharks kept taking players out and the Bulldogs kept putting players in, and it completely swung. McInnes is the only player I know who starts the game with bandages, and by the end of the game, they're gone. It's usually the other way around. You see players start the game completely clean, get busted up, and have to get all bandaged up. McInnes is the Benjamin Button of... Oh, that's terrible from Kafusi. Bugger off back to Parramatta, you useless plonk. A big mistake there. Just gifts the ball back to the Bulldogs. Coming over to the Sharks and stinking up our team worse than they already stink. As the Bulldogs have the ball back, a gift from Oregon Kafusi. Racing from dummy half here. Oh, Reid Marnie has not missed at all. Who is this even? Bailey Hayward, the reserve hooker for the Bulldogs. Burton feeds it on now to Bronson Xerri, and Bronson Xerri is caught with the ball. And that'll be a handover to the Sharks. 6 points all it remains. I love how Cooper Cronk is introduced on Fox Sports as a two-time Dally M medalist. I mean, in all honesty, I would rather be... Oh, it's another loose carry from the Sharks and a big mistake. Oh, who was that? It was probably Kafusi. No, it wasn't. Turn around, mate. Let me see your number. Unforgivable. And this has been the story of the Shark. It's only preseason. Once again, we have to put the asterisks in. Number 19. Who's that? Oh, it's Hiroti. You have to put an asterisk next to these preseason games, of course, but little things like that are still unforgivable. And I don't think Hiroti is going to be challenging for a starting position off the back of plays like that. 18 minutes to go. Hawk on crack says, I don't know why I'm finding preseason so entertaining and enjoyable. For the most part, it's been a bloody shambles, in my personal opinion, but there's been some good games. There's been one or two good games. This has been one of the better ones, for sure. As Hutchinson... change of direction. Thought he spotted a gap between two forwards there. It closed up quickly. Burton to the line. Out the back to Taff. Taff puts the grubber kick in. It's tapped down, and the Sharks come away with it. It was well trapped in the legs there and knocked down by Iro. Iro would be Tony Iro's son, I want to say. If anyone remembers Big Tony Iro. And the Sharks have had to do a lot of defending. They've done it extremely well. But they have spent a lot of time down their own end, and recognising that, Braden Trindle from inside the 40 gets great angle on this. Looking for a 40-20. Josh Adokar gets back and falls on the ball, and straight out of the Cameron Smith playbook, an early kick on tackle 3 has turned the defence around, and look at where the Dogs are now. Tackle 2, 5 out from their own line. That is another massive tick of approval against Braden Trindle. And why has he been kept out of this team for so long by Matt Useless Moylan? I realise Matt Moylan's gone now, so I probably shouldn't still be taking the mickey out of him, but he was just that bad, wasn't he? He was just so bad. He was so bad, we're still talking about him in a season he's not even playing. Fifth and last, the Bulldogs. From well inside their own half. Get the kick away, and they're offside. They are offside on the kick chase, and here is an absolute gift for the Sharks. Take the 2. I know it's only a trial game, but take the 2. Put yourself ahead. They're not going to, of course. They'll put this into the corner and go on the attack. But everybody's offside there. The entire Bulldogs backline was offside on that kick chase as Matt Burton comes off for a rest. The Brumbies in the Super Rugby go up 32 points to 3. Braden, ahoy there, mate. I'll be streaming Sunday, but I'll be streaming very, very early on Sunday. The World Club Challenge, Wigan Warriors versus the Penrith Panthers. We're going to be on very, very early Sunday. And that's a shocking play of the ball from the Sharks. Another simple mistake. It looks like another one of the youngsters. Yeah, number 15, Jesse Colehorn. Big let off there from the Bulldogs. Or for the Bulldogs, I should say. And it'll be another 10-metre scrum. How many of these 10-metre scrums have we seen tonight? The Bulldogs have it. 10 out from their own line. 14 and a half minutes to go. Josh Addo-Carr's coming off. He looks absolutely spent. It's been a big couple of weeks for the Fox. And he gets himself a well-earned rest. Bulldogs up towards the 40 and beyond on the 5th and last. Matt Burton's off, so they won't get that big boot. This is high, not a lot of distance. Oh, Blake Wilson takes the high ball, and then Mulatalo has absolutely lined him up. The Bulldogs have taken offense to it for some reason, but that was just a good, clean hit. I don't know why they're getting upset about that tackle, the Bulldogs. That was just a solid, perfectly timed big hit. Put Blake Wilson on his butt. Folded him in half. Perfectly timed. Waited for him to get back down to the ground. I mean, that's just absolutely perfect defense. Oh! It's come back. Okay, well, it's been given a penalty. The Bulldogs have blown up so hard, I suppose, that it's ended up being a penalty. I don't know what for. George, the Animal Steel, ahoy there. So the Bulldogs have pissed and moaned hard enough that they get a penalty out of it. And I wonder if that's set the tone for their season. Maybe, remember a couple of years ago when the Cowboys used to just take dives off every play to win penalties? Maybe the Bulldogs are just going to blow up and have a whinge. Get a penalty given to them every time this year. Maybe that's their tactic. Trindle traps the ball. It's been ripped away now by the Bulldogs on the ground, I would have thought. Some interesting decisions coming in here in favour of the Bulldogs. But they've got a completely new halves pairing. I don't know who these players are that are on the field at the moment, which is always the difficulty with the preseason. Tackle 3. Still 10 metres out. I'm trying to figure out who this new halves combination is for the Bulldogs. 11 and a half left. To the left they go. They've created space, but the Sharks number up. 5th and last. Both defensive lines have been very good tonight. Crossfield kick. Not a lot of distance on it again. Tapped back by the Bulldogs. Still fifth and last. Kurt Mann is caught with it. Throws it forward. And that'll be a handover to the Sharks. Oh, and he's been busted open. There's blood all over his nose. Whoever he is. George, the Animal Steel. Broncos are in American. Yes, they are. The Broncos, the Roosters, the Rabbitohs, and the Sea Eagles. Of course, playing round one in Viva Las Vegas next weekend. I still haven't finalised my tips for next weekend, but at the moment, well, the Roosters are definitely going to beat the Broncos. That's a given. Lock that one in. The Broncos are going to go like 0 for 5, potentially 0 for 6 to start the season this year. You can pretty much lock that in as well. Who is this? Number 18 for the Sharks. He's a big, big boy. I don't know who it is, to be honest. But around, up over halfway he goes. And now Hazelton beats the first up tackle. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Manly at the moment against the Rabbitohs. Are the Broncos going to get the ref treatment in Las Vegas, though? Yeah, probably. They probably will. What am I even talking about? Hawk on crack. Who's the ref? I'm not sure, Vopsy. Hawk on crack. Who's my favourite team? I go for the Sharks, I'm afraid. Big defence here. The Sharks get 4 in the tackle and drive the Bulldogs backwards as we are inside the last 10. And the Bulldogs have pretty much shown their hand that they don't care about this game by replacing both the starting halves. Up over halfway they go here on tackle 4. Oh, it's juggled. It's juggled again too. And he's lost it. The Bulldogs spill the ball. They've pretty much signaled their intent here, the Bulldogs. They've got all the rookies around there now. Josh Addo-Carr's off. I believe Stephen Crichton's off as well. Matt Burton's off. What's his face? Hutchinson is off. They've rolled on the replacements. They've thrown them in the deep end. Eight and a half minutes to go. The Sharks will start this set. 40 metres out from their own line as Iro takes it forward. That's like Mr. Peebles when about halfway through the season last year, Ticket Tech or Ticketmaster, whoever was doing the NRL tickets, had a promotion on Facebook advertising grand final tickets going on sale, and they used Reece Walsh and the Brisbane Broncos as the promo photo. Oh, that's a shocking pass from dummy half. The Sharks there going, Reed Marnie, you've been throwing terrible passes from dummy half all night. Hold my beer. That is the worst pass all night long. Cam McInnes, a dead set shocker. And that just... Oh, this game started so well, didn't it? Both teams with solid NRL starting lineups. It's ended in a bloody shambles. The second half completion rate, 10 out of 18 for the Sharks. 56%, which is matching what the Bulldogs put in the first half. And now it's loose from the Bulldogs. The Sharks swoop on it and passing up to Iro. Iro will score, and it's the way that it was supposed to be. This game turns on an error. I don't even know if that is Iro, by the way, but somebody scores a try. And isn't it very, very fitting that the ball comes from a loose pass out the back for the Sharks? And I don't even know who this guy is. He's not even anywhere. Oh, there he is. Number 26, Chris Vaelia. Try confirmed. The Sharks take the lead. George the Animal Steel. Are the Sharks going to go well in the NRL this season? Pretty much, you've got the Panthers, who are going to be up the top. You've got the Roosters, potentially the Rabbitohs, your Storms, Manly if they stay fit, the Broncos because they've got the easiest draw out of everybody. Outside of that, it's hard to pick the rest of them. So I don't think the Sharks are any threat to win the competition, but they could certainly shake up the top 8. As Trindle from out wide on the right, successful conversion, and the Sharks lead 12 points to 6 with 5.5 minutes to go. It turned out to be a very scrappy, dire-old affair. It started off so promising, but all the big names really have been pulled from the game now. Which says a lot about what both teams were looking to take out of this game. Oh, they really made a complete hash of it there, the Sharks, from the kick restart. A great diving take. And they have the ball. Yeah, the reserves. I mean, the reserves are just there in case you need them anyway, aren't they? They don't score points week to week. So, in the reserves, you would have some of the outsiders that potentially get game time. And now a loose play the ball, and the Bulldogs will have a chance here. The Bulldogs have been gifted an opportunity inside the last 5 minutes. Four and a half minutes to go. Still game on here. 12 points to 6. So yes, those fantasy teams, the reserves, you sort of need to look at who has the potential to get at least. I would look at maybe at least 40 minutes of game time, I suppose, is what I would look at. At least 40 minutes. Flat pass here from the Bulldogs. Good defense from the Sharks. Holding on, giving away a penalty. Stupid there from the Sharks. 3.5 minutes to go, and the Bulldogs could strike back here. George Steele, I'm not sure what the question is there, mate. I apologize. Is the NRL going to be having in America, US, the first round of the proper season next weekend will be from Las Vegas? Yes. Is it going to become a regular thing? Potentially. Yeah, it kind of has to now. They've committed to numbers to burn out the left here from the Bulldogs. Sharks go for the intercept, and it spills forward. The Bulldogs are over, but the referee's whistle has blown, and it's a knock-on both ways. He's justifying that decision by saying it was a knock-on both ways. Or is he just saying it was a knock-on one way? Oh, it's a forward pass. Yeah, okay. It was a mile forward from the Bulldogs. If Reece Walsh threw it, they would have let it go. 2.5 minutes left. The Sharks lead 12 points to 6, and they have the scrum feed. 10 metres out from their own line once again. How many 10-metre scrums have we seen tonight? It's ridiculous. The Sharks just need to hold on to the ball, basically. This will be a test for the youngsters out there. In this last 2 minutes, can they play out a match? Leading by 6. They just don't have to do anything stupid. Get through this set and then thump the ball upfield, and they will have one set of 6 to hold on. Big defense from the Bulldogs in midfield here. Inside the last 2 minutes, Trindall feeds it onto Hazelton. Hazelton is taken 5th and last inside their own 40 here, the Sharks. The Bulldogs drop back. Trindall puts it high, not looking for a lot of distance. He's just gone high with that. And they've let it bounce. The Bulldogs make a complete mess of it at the back. And it's a penalty, though, in front of the kick chase. An offside chaser. They did everything so well apart from that, the Sharks. And the Bulldogs will have a full set of 6, starting from their own 40-metre line. I am so excited for the NRL season. I can't wait. I've been so excited for the Super Rugby season as well, which I really wanted to do, that Chiefs Crusaders game. As the Bulldogs now launch an attack down the right-hand side. They had good shape, but the Sharks were numbered up. And it's a penalty to the Bulldogs. Inside the last minute. Oh, the referee's making sure we get a finish. A penalty for holding down. Some really questionable calls have started to creep in here to keep the Bulldogs down this end of the field. "17 seconds to go. Bulldogs have the ball. They go to the left." I do apologise. I don't know who any of these players are anymore on the field. We're down into the 20s. We're down into numbers 20, 26. Here is the last play of the game, though. The Bulldogs go to the right side, spotting a little gap, keeping the ball alive. They've got numbers out to the left here, the Dogs. They pass it back in field, though. The Sharks have numbered up now, and that shuts it down. And the intercept, he loses the ball forward in the intercept, but he has claimed it for the Sharks. They hold on and win. It turned out to be an absolute dead-set shocker of a game. It started off really well when it was the two full squads, the two starting squads. Apart from Nico Hines, you can pretty much expect that that would be the starting teams for both this season. And the game started so well. It finished as a shambles. It's very fitting that the Sharks got them what turned out to be the match-winning try off a Bulldogs error, a loose pass. And 12 points to 6, the Sharks get the win in the pre-season, rebounding from their efforts last week against the Knights, which was shocking. First half and second half, what is going on? Sharks have won. Fantasy footy time? No, it's have some proper food time. All I've eaten all day is a ham sandwich because I just haven't had time. I haven't had a chance to stop and take a breather yet today, so But Wasted World of Sports, am I going to screen it? Are we doing what's it called? The what's it called? The streamers who just eat. It's got a really weird name. Can't remember. Cannot remember. Ah, that's it. Yes. Yeah, the mukbang. The mukbang streams. I'm just like, that sounds disgusting. All right, Wasted World of Sports, another preseason game down. We've got a big weekend of action coming up. I'll try and figure out a fantasy stream in there somewhere. And yeah, because I think we really need to do that. I think that will be a great addition to the streaming lineup for season 2024. Would be the NRL fantasy. Go along with the tipping. We can do tipping and fantasy all in one stream. And that'll be all sweet. That'll be sorted. So I'll figure out when the hell I can do that, though, going forward. Yeah, maybe Monday. Maybe it can be a Monday. Although, maybe Tuesdays. Maybe Tuesday nights. Because the team announcements will have been made. I feel like tipping and fantasy will be very reliant on the teams being named for each round. Tuesdays when they drop, so maybe Tuesday nights, Tuesday night fantasies. I'll come up with a better name. Well, actually, I'll let AI come up with a better name for me. That sounds like a plan, because we've got to fit it in somewhere. It's not like it has to be long. I mean, we don't have to go crazy with it. It doesn't have to be the length of a game. We can just do half hour or whatever it ends up being. So, we'll see. Anyway, coming up the rest of the weekend, we've got Six Nations Rugby is back. We've got, who's playing? Ireland and Wales. I'm going off memory here. Ireland versus Wales and Scotland versus England. And then, of course, we do have the World Club Challenge, Wigan Warriors versus Penrith Panthers. And then Sunday afternoon, 1:30 p.m. Queensland time, the return of the old Panther, as Generations is back for a new season. And we'll be talking all about the draw, the luck of the draw, and how the draw has changed over the years for in terms of how it's presented to the public, in terms of how it's arranged, and we'll chat about what it might look like in the future. So that's all coming up this weekend on the Wasted World of Sports. Elimination Chambers tomorrow, 8:30. Okay, I might stream it then. I might very well stream it. We'll see. I might sneak Elimination Chamber in there as well then. That could be a little bit of fun. All right, anyways, Wasted World of Sports, I badly need a feed. Badly need a feed. That should be a t-shirt. I badly need a feed. Thank you very much for your company for this one. It was truly a game of two halves, wasn't it? The first half was brilliant. The first half was NRL standard. The first half was what we can expect from the season proper. And then the second half was a complete and utter shambles. But the Sharks have held on and won. We will definitely check out the starting time for Elimination Chamber. And yes, as I said, Six Nations coming up. World Club Challenge coming up. All on Sunday morning. Generations Vodcast with the old Panther Sunday afternoon. And we'll see about Elimination Chamber. That's a lot. That's a lot coming up for the Wasted World of Sports this weekend. I'll catch you then. Thank you so much for your company for this one, as always. And until next time, hang on, let me cue up everything here. Oh, Christ, that's loud. All right, thank you very much. And until next time, cheers.
World of Sports, eh?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack. Ahoy! He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.